The 4th of July honors the birthday of the United States of America and adoption of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. It's a day of picnics, patriotic parades, fireworks, and a reason to fly the American flag. I'm Esther Bloom. Chances are that hot dogs, steaks, and burgers will dominate the fare on your outdoor grill. To complement these festivities, we are joined by San Diego's multi-talented opera-singing chef, Elizabeth Podsiadlo, who always adds excitement to our culinary series. Welcome back to Pace TV. We are eager to hear your plans to delight our palates.
Thank you, Esther. I'm very excited to be here. And look how beautiful you are, all dolled up in red, white, and blue. Perfect for the occasion as usual, my dear.
Oh, is there any other way?
Not for you, the lady with style. I'm excited to be here. And I'm going to share with the audience and with you today 2 recipes that have a little bit of a twist. Most of the picnics that we go to, potlucks that we go to, are full of these gorgeous foods, and they sit out in the sun and in the heat, and we want to make sure those foods are safe to eat and healthy to eat. So today I'm going to be making a blueberry balsamic pie and a Southwest potato salad, and the good thing about that is no mayo.
Oh, I thought you were going to say no calories.
Oh, Esther, if only that were true. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show our beautiful audience how to weave the top of this beautiful pie. And when it comes out of the oven, I'm sure you'll smell it wafting through the Pace Studios. Please come when your nose is tickled by the aroma. But meanwhile, I'll get the tedious stuff done, and you can get back to work back behind the stage.
Oh, I'm going to relax and wait for that scent that wants me to come back.
Yes, and maybe I'll have, what are those drinks with the mint julep? I'll have a mint julep sent your way. How does that sound? Oh, well, listen, I am excited. We have a beautiful pie for you today, and if July isn't blueberry season, I don't know what is. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a little something special to our blueberries, okay? We've got some really fat, juicy, and beautiful blueberries here, just perfect, but I will tell you, the more tart the berry, the better. If your berries are too sweet, well, you can always add more lemon juice or more vinegar, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start by adding to our berries, which have been washed and picked through of any strange residual things that might be in it. But we're going to add our cup of sugar. Yes, indeed, an entire cup of sugar. Okay? And then we're going to add our tapioca, which is just gorgeous. We need the tapioca to thicken it up, because if you try cooking a blueberry pie, you'll notice that it runs all over your stove. So make sure when you're cooking it that you have a baking sheet underneath, because I don't want to hear about how your stove has been smoking for a month from the blueberry juice. So we're going to go ahead and add about a half a cup of tapioca. That's a good bit, and that's going to keep it all together. Now, I'm going to let this sit for a minute. We still have to add our balsamic, but I'm going to have to go digging for that. Before I do, let's get our dough going, shall we? Okay, we're going to start with a food processor. If you don't own a food processor, may I recommend you sell a piece of furniture or perhaps a child or something. You need this. This is awesome, and you'll start baking again. Pastry is so easy with this. So we'll start with our flour. We've got 1.25 cups of flour. I'm going to start this, and then I'm going to sing you a beautiful song that puts me in mind of a slow-moving river in the summertime. So what we've got here is we've got some baking powder and a little pinch of salt. We'll add that in with our flour. We've got 3 tablespoons of sugar. We'll add that in. Yes, this is going to be a sweet pastry, okay? But now the key to the success of this, of course, is adding in cold ingredients. We're going to take 3/4 cup of butter, and we're going to cube this up a little bit. Now the food processor will do most of it, and our beautiful studio lights have softened my butter, which is going to give me quite a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge. So we'll throw this in like so. And I'll tell you, I use salted butter, just to let you know. Some folks don't, but I do. So I like it better for pie crusts. We're going to pulse this a little bit until you get what they call a meal, where it's like pea size. Oh, it looks like a meal to me. It looks like dinner. Just kidding. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and let this run. We're going to add an egg. Yes, I'm adding an egg to my pie crust, but it makes it durable. Here we go. No shells. And if we do get shells, you'll never know it. So we're adding that, and then we're going to add a little bit of water. It's already, actually, typically, I would add water to get this to go into the form of a ball. But sometimes your eggs will have more water volume to it. So once it forms a ball, don't add any water. You don't have to at this point, but if it doesn't, that's when you do. I'd like to sing for you a song now before we continue. We still have a little bit of work to do, some beautiful weaving, but a little song that speaks of summertime. My beautiful accompanist, John Danke, will be playing for me. John, you are on today. That was gorgeous. All right, let's get back to our dough. Now listen, the folks back in the booth are going to be driven crazy by what I'm about to do. Going underwater, checking in my stuff. Ha ha, just in time. Good. Now this is some balsamic vinegar. Now when you're cooking with balsamic vinegar, it is not integral that you use 25-year-old aged balsamic, but if you do, I know where you can get some if you want some. But this is just middle of the road balsamic vinegar. I didn't go cheap, and we're gonna add, I don't remember, I think it was about 1/4 cup. Very, very nice stuff. And this will add that tang, that very unusual tang to this. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna stir this up just beautifully. Oh, it's gorgeous. We are putting in the vinegar. It's just beautiful. I'll just dirty up my cake lift here. And we're going to let these sit while we finish with the dough, okay? We'll let those sit for a minute, and that will all dissolve and get just very yummy and gorgeous. I'd love to just get my hands in there. Oh, berries everywhere. Whoopee! Okay. Okay, all right, here we go. Now we're going to wait for a moment, and we're going to pour that into the crust. But before we do, we're going to sprinkle flour all over my board here. Because what we're going to do is cut our dough into strips and roll it out. This is a wonderful way to make pastry. It's the perfect texture. I love it. Now, if you are worried that your dough is a little soft, and I'll tell you because everything got a little warm, the ideal thing to do, folks, is to make sure your egg is cold, make sure your butter is cold, and heck, hey, why not? Make sure your flour is cold, whenever you're making pastry, because it'll make it stronger. Now, I know that there's the pastry expert out there who might be saying, you know, she really should be putting this in the fridge in plastic and letting it rest for a little bit. And you know, you can, but I'll be honest with you, I've never felt that it makes that big a difference. I'll be honest, okay? That's the way I feel about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll this out. You see how gorgeous it is? It's just perfect. It's not too sticky. And if it is, you want to make sure you always have plenty of flour on your board. The key to pastry is the more you touch it, they say, the tougher the pastry will get and it won't be flaky. But again, we put that egg in here, so this cannot be measured along with your standard pastries. It's not your regular pastry. I'm going to run my lift underneath this to make sure it's not sticking, because we're going to be using this to weave. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm doing the impossible. I'm going to weave a pie in front of you, and you're going to see how it's done. I had to practice this morning, make sure I knew what I was doing, because it's been since last summer. Okay, so here we go. We're pouring our berries. Now this is 4 pints of blueberries. Please do not go cheap on your blueberries. Buy a lot. Fill that puppy up. It's going to be so scrumptious. And oh my goodness, can I smell the vinegar? It's awesome. Okay, it's full of berries, as you can see. Now, this is where it's going to get precarious. Again, I'm going to run this under here to make sure it's not going to stick. And we're going to roll this out to make sure we have enough. Sprinkling a little here, a little there, a little here. I keep doing that. I'm going to go home and be delicious. All right. Now you can, if you want to, you can use a ruler to make your lines, or you can just do this. You see, I'm just going for it. And I would say mine are about a 1/2 inch thick, right? Now you'll start in the middle of the pie with your biggest strips. And I got to tell you, whenever you're making a fruit pie like a blueberry or an apple or even a cherry, you know, you've got to make sure that you don't completely cover the top, or you will really have a mess, because that juice will escape through the side seams, which is why they typically make blueberry pie with a lattice. You see that? So the 4th of July, I can remember many a 4th of July sitting right under the fireworks, watching them explode right over my head, and be it all hotter than heck out there. But today it's pretty temperate, but it always is around here, isn't it? Now, remember I told you we're going to start with the longest piece, which is going to be right here. I think this is the longest piece. It's a little thick. It's very durable. I think this is a good position for this. I hope this is. I'm going to put this down. There we go. Now we can see a little better, okay? And we're going to take the second longest one, and we're going to put it like so. Crisscross. Whoops. Uh-oh, you didn't see that. That's the soft butter acting up. Okay. We're going to do this again. This time I'm putting it above this side. You see? We're starting the weave. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side, right? So we've got under, over, under, over. Okay. Now what we're going to do is do this one. We're going to come here. We're going over this way. We have to lift this one up. This is where it gets a little precarious. This is why you want your dough ingredients to be rather cool, so that the dough will hold tighter. This has to come up. Oh, the drama of it all. Beautiful. Now, if your pie isn't perfect, I wouldn't worry, like that just broke, but I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm tucking that under, because you can always fix it and it won't show. Beautiful. Besides, it's the 4th of July. They're not going to be staring at your pie for very long. You're going to be breaking into it and serving it with some gorgeous homemade ice cream, I hope. That would be one for a good show. Homemade ice creams. Yummy. What kind of ice cream? You could do a vanilla cinnamon with this, which would be pretty fantastic. All right. So we are weaving away. Over and under and over and under and over and under and over and under. And if you mess it up, be careful, somebody will come and inspect. All right, continuing on. Let's see. So you see how simple this pie was, and all that was in it was the blueberries with the tapioca, right? With the vinegar, with the sugar. What happens if you don't want to use vinegar? You could always use lemon juice. There's no harm in that, okay? All right, let's see. We've got more to go on this side. We're going to go under. It's hard to be delicate. And these are not thin strips. I was trying to make them thick so that they wouldn't break under the lighting. All right. I'm not going to let this get to me if it's not perfect. I'll be okay. I hope you guys out there in TV land, if you're perfect or perfectionist, don't let it get to you. It's just an illusion that it's not perfect. It's all good. I guess that means the zen of pie making. It is not a perfect pie, but all is well. Okay. All right, now. Okay, we've done pretty much the whole thing. I think I have enough for one more slice. And we'll put this one here and lift this up, make sure it's woven in. Now, we can still make this look good because what we're going to do is all these little pieces we're going to add to the edges. Okay, and then we're going to flute the edge and make it look like a respectable 4th of July pie. Now remember, when you're going to a potluck, you have to think about how you're going to be carrying these things to your potluck, right? And I'll tell you, I found an old pie safe that I just love to use. So I will put it in, and it looks like a basket, and I'll show you in just a moment how we're going to do this. Now what we want to do is we have a little bit of a wash here. This is an egg and milk wash, okay? And I would brush the top of this, plus add a little bit of sugar. So I'm taking my hand, I would flute this all the way around, but because our show isn't 3 hours long, I'm going to just go quickly and put this in the oven and get it out in time. Oh, the fluting part looks great. I'll flute fast. Okay, there we go. Now, I'll show you just the pretty side, right? And now I'm going to take this wash of, this is half and half, an egg. And I used a whole egg. Some people just use an egg white. Now, we did post this recipe. This recipe is posted on the paste.net. So if you'd like to see the recipe for this, paste.net, plus see the lyrics to the songs, you have that ability by going right there to getting all the recipes that we've prepared. How beautiful is that? Okay, now we're going to sprinkle this with a little bit of sugar, and I'm going to put this in the paste oven. We're going to bake her up at 350 until she's golden brown on top. If the edges start to burn, put a little foil around the edges, but you want to let this go for about 50 to 55 minutes till it starts bubbling, until it's the right color on top that you want. I'll be right back. Well, the pie is done. It's been cooling, and I've carried it to my potluck in a beautiful basket, as I mentioned earlier. You want to be super careful, and these baskets are really awesome for this kind of thing. The pie has come intact, which is important. And look how beautiful the lattice work is on that. Isn't it just beautiful? It all works out, doesn't it? Now, to go with this beautiful pie, I'm going to make you that potato salad I talked to you about. And when I do this, I'd like to have Esther come up because I'd really like her to see this up close. It's really a fun thing to do. Hi, Esther. Good, I'm glad
Did I hear my name?
Yes, thank you so much. I want to share this recipe. I just love this recipe. Simple, simple, simple. So what we're going to do is we've got our potatoes here in the bowl. We've got some red sweet bell peppers. And you can omit whatever you like. You could add green onions to this. Some red sweet bell peppers. Some black olives. You can't go wrong. Potatoes, peppers, black olives. Now we're going to add some gorgeous green olives. You see how colorful this is?
Yeah, that's very unusual.
Oh, and all the flavors that you get from the olives. I hope you're an olive fan. And then what we have is corn, which was frozen, or you could cook your own corn and get it off the husk, and some black beans. So there's lots of protein in this dish, okay? So far, that's all we do. I did not add any onion. Personally, I find that potato salads that sit with onion get stronger and stronger. So this is up to you. Now we have a dressing, okay? What we've got here is a Southwest rub, blah, 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 and it has chili powder, cumin, garlic, sugar, but, oh, well, it isn't too bad, and if it's too totally spicy, I'll lay off, not too heavy. This is olive oil. We've got some olive oil in here. It's just about a cup, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take our olive oil, and we're going to put a little bit of this Southwest rub in it. I know Esther has a little bit of a problem with hot things, but maybe I'll test this one and Esther can test the pie. And remember, you can adjust this. But look at that. So what we've got is we're shaking our spices into this olive oil. And I brought a little jar, and you can do this ahead of time. And you do this ahead of time, but bring it to the picnic and dress the salad at the picnic. Otherwise, you lose that wow tang. But we still have to add our balsamic vinegar. So yes, it has balsamic, no mayo. So we'll add a little balsamic to this.
That is unusual. I've never had potato salad without mayo.
Yeah, I know, but you believe me that it's just a whole different experience. A little bit of salt, Okay, I'm adding that to the dressing, and we'll add the pepper to the salad. Okay, so I'm going to shake this up. Shake, 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 shake. Hey, speaking of which, I got a song I'd like you to sing with me, okay? It's a This Is My Country, okay? I'll sing the first time through. Will you join me the second time through?
If you trust me.
I trust you. Now, all I'm going to do while I'm singing is I'm going to pour this dressing into my potato salad and stir. You think you can manage? I know you can, okay? Hit it, John. With us too. I'm going to talk the producer into putting the words down there for you. I hope so. So I don't have exactly the right tool to stir this, as you may have noticed. It's a bit of a baseball bat, but hey, it's baseball season, right? Hey, they give you lemons, you make lemonade, right? Or tuck them inside your bra. Couldn't hurt, might help, right?
Well, I'll stir and you sing.
Oh, you sang beautifully. Esther, you beautiful. Singing is so good for you.
That's true.
You know? It just gets rid of all that negative energy. That's so does screaming, but singing, at least your neighbors won't complain too much, you know? Ah! Okay, so this is done, and look how gorgeous this is, okay? It is beautiful. And I'm not going to make you taste this, Esther, because I know you do have a tickly palate, but I will let you taste the pie. So we're going to set this aside, and now we're going to pull the pie out. Everybody's licking their lips and wanting a piece of this. Remember, you can always add a little salt and pepper to this. This just is going to be awesome and gorgeous. Let's go ahead and cut into this. Now, I had a knife, but I'll just use this. Got our beautiful plates here. Here we go. All right. One down. Oh, do you see the crunch of that crust? It's perfect. There we go.
And your choice
You wanted this much, right?
Your choice of ingredients is so unusual.
With the balsamic vinegar, right?
Yes.
It's just different, you know, but I think it adds a nice tang. And, okay. Got a chainsaw? Let's see if we can get this to work. All right. Let's see. Now, Grace is not my middle name. We'll see if we'll get this done. Are you ready?
Right.
Do, 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 do. All right, darling. Look at that luscious pie, Esther.
My.
You. There you go. Yes, have a fork. And you could always just set it down on the table. I just don't want you to feel you have to hold it. I've given her 2 plates to juggle.
Yeah.
All right, darling. You let me know what you think. Remember, you're on camera. No pressure, but it better be good. And if it isn't good, I don't want to hear it. I'll sneak a little bit out of here while you're trying that one.
We can always delete.
Now, this is a very deep dish pie. How is it, Esther?
Not your typical blueberry taste.
Very delicately put. Let's see.
No.
But it's got...
Yeah, very, very.
I got to tell you.
Very unique.
I hate to brag, but dang. This is an awesome pie. And thick. The pieces are like 3 inches thick. Oh, my goodness. What could you serve this with? Well, let's face it. Going to a picnic, it's tough. You want to serve ice cream with it. Tough to bring to a picnic or a potluck. But I'll tell you, many a cooking class, I have filled a soft-sided cooler with dry ice. You can buy it at a lot of the supermarkets now. And you wrap it in a towel, put it on the bottom of your cooler, put the ice cream right on top. Sometimes it makes my ice cream so hard I can't even dig into it. So you might want to experiment with it, but it's a whole new thing to bring an ice cream to picnics. You can do it. Well, this sure has been fun. And Esther, you are a kick for a host. I really enjoyed having you. And I hope I didn't try the potato salad. Goodness gracious, snakes alive. Here
Well,
we go.
I hope we both come back again because this is too good to pass up.
Oh, yes. Oh, we got plenty of pie, and there's another pie in the oven. Oh, let's try the potato salad with a zing of the beautiful Southwest taste. It could soak in a little bit longer, but fantastic. You know, being a television chef is the only place you're allowed to talk with your mouth full. Matter of fact, it's part of the requirements. But just beautiful. And if you want more zing to this, you could always add more vinegar. It would be just perfect.
I bet it would be wonderful even without that hot stuff.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. I can't even taste the hot stuff. I could actually add a little more. As a matter of fact, I'm going to add a little more. I was being gentle for Esther, but since she's not trying, I'm going to go ahead and add a little more of this. But this is going to be one heck of a hot and spicy 4th of July. And can you remember one that wasn't? I don't think so. Delicious. Make sure you stir it well.
Well, what could be more appropriate than having it hot and special for the 4th of July?
There you go. And look at the colors. It looks like fireworks, doesn't it? Yes. Now listen, you could also put a little smoky paprika in this if you want it. But I'll tell you, this is lovely. I can't wait to come back for another special occasion. But remember, you can always get these recipes at tasteofpaste.net. It has been a pleasure being here. Happy 4th of July.
Okay. Dig in.